Hello and welcome to Amethyst Star Crafting. My name is Jane Allmark and I'm a UK independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. And today we're doing another Christmas card. We're doing it with quite curvy, and I'm taking this lovely leaf with the coordinating curvy dies, and we're using from the Gift Wrapped the little stars and the A Very Merry Christmas. Because we are still using up little bits of leftover scrap that we've got from our pack of Designer Series paper Classic Christmas, and as you know, I've used it for all of the projects that we made in our 23 days of Christmas, and I've still got some over, so my mission is to use as much of it as I can. So this piece has got the little stars on, and it measures, what did this piece measure? This piece measures 5 inches by 2.5 inches. So it was literally just a piece that I had over. Now I'm teaming it up with cherry cobbler, because the papers are teamed with cherry cobbler. So we've got a mat of cherry cobbler, and then I've got a white piece. Now, because this piece is going to not go completely across, I want to do something down the sides. So that's why I've taken the little stars, which I really like, and we're going to do those in, I would do them in cherry cobbler, but I'm doing them in Merry Merlot. As I said, I can't get at the moment, because of our importing and things like that, we can't get hold of the cherry cobbler refills at the moment. So I'm making do with the Merry Merlot, but it does work beautifully. Now, what I'm doing with these is I'm going to sort of turn them round just a little bit so that we have them at different angles. Whoops, make sure I've inked it up. And we're just going to take it down that side. Then we're going to do the other side as well. So I'm literally just going all the way down. They don't have to be perfectly straight or anything, particularly if you're doing them in different directions. You can just sort of turn them around as you go. I think I need one more just down in the bottom. There we go. So I'm just going to put my paper back in to make sure that that fits. Yes, that fits exactly where I want it to. So we've just decorated that with the little starry bits. I need to get my Simply Chamois out and just make sure that I clean that little star off, and then that can go back in its box. Okay, so we now have got a really nice sort of beginning part, and I'm in two minds. I might actually do some of the stars on the other part. We'll have to see as we go. But this is the first part that we can glue together now. So let me just grab my glue, and I'm going to do it with wet glue. And so we're going to put this piece in on here. And this would actually make a backing for you to put whatever you wanted Christmas card wise or any other time of the year on there. I'm just doing this because, as I said, I have quite a lot of Christmas cards to post, which all are posted by the beginning of the first week in December. I post my Christmas cards. I always have done, because I don't like them to arrive too early, but I like them to arrive for, you know, the week before Christmas, something like that. So this piece is then going to go down in on the center like this, and again there's a little gap in there, but that's fine. So just sort of line it up so that it's reasonably straight, and then you've got the little stars that come out on the side, which adds a little bit of piece on it. So that's sort of our backing piece. Now for the center, I have cut a 2-inch square, and I've cut a mat which is 1/4 inch, so that's 2 1/4 inches square. And we are going to build a little scene on this. So I have taken from the Quite Curvy, I stamped out, I have quite a few of them because I tend to, when I've got them out and I've got the die cutter out, I tend to stamp and do a few and then just put them in the case. So I stamped it out in black, and then what I've done is there are spaces around there where you can actually divide them and take them down. So if you didn't want a large piece, you can actually cut it down. So what I've done is I've cut it along one of the seams. In fact, I've done, you can get 3 of them. So I've coloured one of them in and put some Wink of Stella. I don't know whether you can see the Wink of Stella, but it's really rather sparkly. And those are the 2 other pieces which would go to make it up. And you can see that you can get another 2 out of 1 piece. So you can make 3 cards if you were batch building. Now, I want to put this, I'm going to put this on here first. So I'm literally just going to glue this onto the back because we don't need to have anything more on there. So I was debating whether putting a few stars on there, but I think it'll just make it too busy by the time we've finished. Okay, so that's our little piece on our square. Make sure that I've got that relatively straight. And then we're going to put this piece in down on the bottom so that it comes and just hangs off just a little bit. So I'm going to do that with dimensionals, and as I say, I have put some Wink of Stella on there just to give a bit of sparkle. So dimensionals, I've got, did I get my dimensionals? I did get some dimensionals out. Okay, so we've got our standards and we've got our minis. I think I'm going to have to put some standards on this one. So we'll have one there. And we'll have one there, that should be fine. So I'm just going to take that off. And then we can put that down at the bottom, as I say, so it comes across, but it just hangs off a little bit. You see, just a little bit at the bottom and a little bit at the side, not sort of a huge amount. Now, I thought that it would be quite nice to decorate the inside with a candle. So I thought, right, let's make a candle. So what I've done is, with some of these little tiny scrap pieces, again, that we've got left over, I'm literally just going to cut a piece off straight, like that. Okay, so that can then go inside, which is going to be the candle. I've got that really sort of skew whiffed, but never mind. It'll be okay. Okay, so the candle will go in like that. Now, we need a flame for the candle. So I've just taken a little tiny bit of bumblebee and I'm going to just cut just a tiny strip off so I know roughly about the size that I want. And then all I'm going to do is to just cut a sort of a flame shape, so just sort of a little top piece, bring it down, and it doesn't have to be perfect because flickering flames aren't particularly perfect anyway. So that's our little flame that'll go in like that. Okay, in fact it's a little small, I might actually do a bigger one for that. That might go for a smaller one. But then all you do is take a marker or a blend and you're literally just going to, down the centre of it, just draw a little sort of centerpiece. because that gives the sort of the flickering flame in the center, and then just round the edges, just brush the side of the pen, and then that just gives it just a little bit of definition on there. Okay, so you then have little flames, and you know, do them whatever size you want. I've done a few, so I'm actually going to use this one, which just happens to be a little bit bigger. But as I say, exactly the same sort of process. So this one, we're going to put that on with a couple of the mini dimensionals. So I'm just going to take that in up on the center. And then I'm going to tuck that one in first, and then we should be able to get the little flame on top. But as I said, don't throw your scraps away, because there's all sorts of things that you can do with them. So let's put this in about there, will work. And then all we need to do is to get our little flame. So I need to put a little bit of a dimensional in on there. I don't think a full one will go. I might have to cut it down a little bit. Yes. So I'm just going to take a little tiny piece across the side, because it really does have to be quite a tiny bit for this. But that's why the sides of the dimensionals are quite good to do something like that on. So let's just take that little tiny piece from the side, and then we can put that in like this. Now you could always do more than one. I'm only doing one on this one, but you could do, whoops, I can get this on, it's my dexterity going now. Oh, going quiet while I try and get this into the center. There we go. Okay, so we've now got that in the center, and then we can just put the little candle in on there. So you've got the little flame that comes in on the top like that. So you've got your little candle, and then we need to decorate this up. And the original idea for this is because I'm going to be putting my Christmas decorations and things up, and I always have a garland wreath like this across my mantelpiece. And so there's me starting to get some of the bits down from the loft. Whoops. And I thought, oh, I really like garlands and things, so I'm just going to put some of these up on here. I'm going to be a little bit generous, because you know, they can be berries on the garland. So another one in there like that. That's 3. Do I want any more than 3? No, I don't think so. I think 3 will be perfect on that. Okay, so then we need to put this in on the top here, and I'm not going to do that bit with the dimensionals because we've got the height on with this, but I have done a little sentiment, and that's going to fit just down in on there. So I think I'm going to leave it as it is. Oh dear, my dog's barking. There must be somebody outside, or the postman's coming. It's getting the time of year where there's lots of parcels and things like that that are delivered. So if it's not delivered to me, it's delivered to neighbours, and she has to have a little what's going on sound. So I'm going to put this in on here and just take that up. So we've got the right height in on there. And then this little one is, I'm not going to put it up with dimensionals. I'm just going to have the candle up with the dimensionals, and then that will go down on there. So that will go in that way. Make sure that that's reasonably level across there. Slide it across a bit. There we go. And then all I have to do is, which I'm not going to do the gluing bit on it now, is to put it onto a card base like that. and you've got a rather fun Christmas card with a candle on it, made out of, again, just using up our little scraps and things that we've got left. But I think it looks a very pretty sort of card for Christmas, and we've just decorated the sides. So as always, thank you so much for watching me. Please stay safe, please stay well, and please be kind. Bye-bye.